our guest Gulnur Aybet, who we lost there through technical issues. She's in Antalya. And Gulnur, we were just discussing how the international community could try and tackle this, and we were talking through some of the tactics that might be employed.
Yes, that's right. I mean, I think that, there's going to be an increased awareness, and that's going to reflect in the discussions here, especially backdoor discussions at the summit, as to how there can be short-term and long-term strategies in dealing with this, because now there's an increased awareness, I think, here that terror, Syria, and the refugee crisis are inevitably interlinked, and you can't find a solution for one and not find a solution for the other two. And they're interlinked in a way that all efforts have to involve multi-dimensional efforts, including investment and youth employment in the short run, trying to find a solution to ungoverned spaces, but as well as immediate concerns such as security, and trying to find a more stable solution to the Syrian crisis, which is also affecting the refugee crisis. So a lot of this, but in the long term, in education also. So all of the different organizations on the sidelines of the G20, including, the business community and the think tanks, everybody, I think, is involved in this struggle for trying to find a new international collaboration that's multidimensional, that deals with these three interlinked issues. And I think that's going to be at the top of the agenda at this summit. And
the deal that was struck between John Kerry and Sergei Lavrov yesterday in Vienna, how do you think that will play into the leaders' minds there, and also decisions to be made going forward for the future of Syria?
Well, I mean, Syria, there's an increased international awareness now, especially after the refugee crisis hit Europe, that there has to be a solution to the war. I don't think a protracted war in Syria is in anybody's interest right now, although there are very wide differences. But it goes in, trying to find a solution goes in three levels. Of course, there are the international global actors, Russia and the United States. And I think that's why yesterday's meeting between Kerry and Lavrov was very important, because if they can find some kind of way to fine-tune their disagreements, then this will trickle down to the next level of fine-tuning diverging interests in the region among local regional players such as Turkey, Iran, and Saudi Arabia. And then that, of course, plays into the situation on the ground and ground forces on the ground. Right now in Syria, there's a very complicated map with who is exactly governing which space. Not only do you have ISIS, but you also have Hezbollah in there, and various other factions, including the Free Syrian Army and the rebels, but also the Assad army that are being helped by Russia. And they've actually made some gains against ISIS as well. So it's a very complicated situation on the ground as well, with ground forces that are opposed to each other. And of course, let's not forget Turkey's genuine concerns about handing over any land that's freed from ISIS to PYD on a silver platter, because that's not what Turkey would like to see. They don't want to see a contiguous geographic zone on their border controlled by the Syrian Kurds, which have close affiliation with the PKK. So all of these have to be fine-tuned. But I think there is a genuine effort and a willingness to try to fine-tune all of these. We saw that in Vienna, and I think that will be one of the issues discussed here in the G20 as well.
Ms. Aybet, thank you very much